When it comes to real estate, everything matters. Whether you're a realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title is here to inform, entertain, and inspire you. Host Bill Napick from Stewart Title will talk with guests about what really matters when it comes to owning, buying, and selling real estate. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title starts right now. Here's your host, Bill Napick.
Welcome to the show, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Thank you again for joining us on this brand new radio adventure that we have for you today. So, whether you're listening right here in Houston, Texas, perhaps you're in Kingwood, Texas, you might be in Montana, you might even be in one of my favorite places called Dana Point, California, San Diego. Wherever you are, you're going to enjoy the show. We have tremendous content and, as always, superior guests. We're going to first start with Tanette Pipkins. She is with NRL Mortgage, doing an incredible job there, and she has some interesting tales for us today. Tanette, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on today.
Well, it's so awesome to see you. You were participating at our Don't Get Rocked by a Hurricane in Kingwood, and you brought forth a lot of great information about your company. So let's tell people, first of all, NRL Mortgage, a little bit about perhaps some of your company distinctions.
Yes, NRL right here is located. The corporate office is right in Houston, Texas. We're licensed in 45 states, including Washington, D.C., but my office is located in Kingwood, Texas.
And let's tell people right now from a market standpoint, people always wonder how the real estate market is, whether they're buying, selling, or just staying put. But give people an idea right now how it is for you and your company.
The market is doing great. I always tell clients it's always a good time to buy a house, meaning right now today. Here at NRL, we offer all products. VA, we offer USDA, conventional jumbo loans, and also FHA. So I always tell clients, figure out what's the best niche for you. When a client meet with me, I always go over different products based upon their relations and their ultimate goals to buying a home. It's not just sales price, it's more so what they're comfortable paying a month.
Almost sounds like if someone were to go in and buy a suit that you tailor the mortgage, the product, to whatever their needs are and perhaps goals.
Correct. And I always tell clients it's not a one-size-fits-all product. So what you may hear from somebody else's past experience, it may be totally different from your personal experience. So when I sit with the client, I truly go by step of what their ultimate goal is from start to finish. And I always tell clients also, just because we close on your home within 2 weeks or so, I don't go away. It's truly for a lifetime.
And if someone's interested in buying a home, when should they talk to you at your mortgage company? When should they begin that process? Let's say, I don't know, a month from now, I want to be looking to buy a home. So when should I talk to you?
I always tell clients you should start. It all depends on how your lease is set up. If you're within a lease agreement, you should for sure talk with your lease owner, whomever you're renting from, to see what it's going to cost for you to break the lease, if any repercussions. But in my opinion, at least 6 months out, because the market is forever changing. It's totally different from buying and also leasing. So if you're looking to buy, in my opinion, about 6 months, if you have to fix the credit, if we have to do other challenges, come up with down payment assistance programs, or come up with different products that may be applicable for you. So in my opinion, 6 months. Or sooner. It could be sooner. If the client is already ready, done all their homework, definitely.
Sounds like the key there is to be ready.
Correct.
That is awesome, and that's great advice for anything in life, by the way. I will throw that in. And you have a tremendous background. When we think about mortgage companies, real estate, it's all so competitive. And we're here in Houston, Texas, where there are many, and there's many radio shows for that matter. There are many realtors, many people in the mortgage profession. But let's tell people how your background, and your background is interesting. You were a sprinter, and you were sponsored by Nike for many years.
Yes.
And as a sprinter, to be able to excel in something like that, so competitive, let's tell people about that background, please.
Sure. I was sponsored by Nike for about 4.5 years, 2004 to 2008. I was ranked number one in the world at one point. So what I did...
Whoa, slow down. You were ranked what? You
number one in the world.
Number one in the world?
Yes.
That's like the whole planet, right?
Correct, yes.
Wow.
Yes, and I take that to heart, because when I was running for track for Nike, I did really, really well. So what I did from that standpoint, if I would have never been injured, I probably would have went farther, but I pulled hamstring. But things happen for a reason. So I used the ability of me being so disciplined, always striving to be number one, always doing the best service that I could actually do for myself on the track. So I used those same distinctions and just transferred over to the real estate market. And I became a loan officer by doing so, and helping clients to avoid past mistakes that I made and put them in best position as possible, educating the client, because the mortgage industry is forever changing. So you can never know all the knowledge. I always tell clients you can also know too much and become paralyzed and not move forward. It's always best to sit down and talk to a mortgage professional and go through the steps of what's applicable for you and your needs.
And backing up once again to the fastest in the world, that grabs me. I have to ask kind of the Johnny Carson question. Yes. How fast were you?
Well, I ran at the 100. My fastest time there was 11:20. 200, it was 22:34. 400, it was right at 50 seconds.
That's pretty fast.
Yes.
What's the mindset when you're achieving something like that to be the fastest or to win the sprint, if you will? What is the mindset when you're preparing and then before they say ready, set, go? And that's what they say. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
All right, what are you thinking in those moments?
I mean, the mindset is kind of the same thing with everyday life. Focus on the process, trust yourself, trust your own trainings. I always tell clients, and same with people in everyday life, if you just focus on you and no one else's competition, you are truly your own competition. So when I used to line up and race, I never saw my components as a component. I just saw myself as my best competition because I knew how great I was. And my components, as well as competitors, they just pushed me to become better. But they never was a target for me. I was my own target.
And certainly staying in shape was important to achieve what you did. How important is that now as you're in the real estate world in helping people with mortgages? Oh,
that's very important because the world that we're in now, real estate can become very stressful. And I always tell people, if you're not physically fit, mentally challenged, meaning prepared and mentally within your own mindset, the world can take over when it comes to real estate because it's a very emotional decision. Clients, whenever they buy a house or get prepared for a home, they lead with emotions. We as professionals have to provide balance for the clients. So I always say stay in shape, work out, eat right, watch what you eat, because the job that we're in, you can be at a desk all day and just snack and snack and snack and not get up and move around, which is unhealthy. So you have to always find that happy life balance.
And that's not easy. Work life, happy life balance, work
it's
life.
Not.
But going through the idea of the real estate transaction, whether you're the realtor or providing, and all the things are so important, especially you have to have money to buy the property. And it has to be in the right terms. But through the process of the mortgage process, I come to you, I get a loan, I get pre-approved, all those things, there can be challenges along the way. So when we think about the emotional aspect of the real estate transaction from your money standpoint, how do you help people, and how often are there challenges through the course of one person's quest to buy a home with the loan?
That's a great question, especially when you bring up challenges. Me personally, I can only speak for myself and also NRL. Before I issue what we call a pre-qualification letter, I make sure the client is fully qualified because you don't want to have a client go out and look for a home and they're not qualified because that will build challenges, cause frustrations, and cause delays in closings. So when I sit with the client, go over all their supporting documentation before they even go out and look for a home, they're well equipped. Now, the only challenges that may come up is things out of everybody's control, like inspections. You can't control that. If a client inspects a property, we got foundation issues. That's a challenge that we can overcome by going to a different home or renegotiating with the seller and figuring out how we can fix it. But an overall challenge for stress of can we get the deal closed on time, that's never a challenge for me. It should be always a fun, smooth transaction for the client.
And I was going to say the word smooth because having it be smooth for the client is very important.
Oh, yeah, that's very important because you want the client to have a fantastic experience because they buying a home. This is one of the biggest purchase probably of their lifetime. So you always want to make it a smooth, fun transaction for the client and less stress as possible because they are already anxious to move into their perfect home.
And once they're pre-approved, what are some of the things that you tell them not to do or to do during the process so things are smooth?
The biggest one is don't change jobs. Don't make large deposits. Don't be late on current liabilities that you have on a credit report right now.
Don't buy expensive
things.
Don't
buy any. I always tell clients, do nothing without talking to me.
Yes. Almost that's like an attorney. Yeah,
pretty much. Yes, don't do anything.
Do not watch what you say. Put all your money in lockdown. Stay steady till you get the home, right?
Correct. Yes.
Because how often does that happen? People should know that by now, but do people actually go out and there's like, I got pre-approved now, I'm going to go buy a car until we get our new house?
Oh, yeah. I had a client, but this was a couple of years ago, decided to go out and buy furniture for the home, and they didn't even close on a house yet. So does it happen? Yes. Is it likely to happen often? No. As long as you have open communication with the client, telling the clients what they can and cannot do, and set the proper expectations, you should be fine.
You know, I have a running reference. Don't jump the gun.
Oh, that's
How
a good
about
one.
that, huh?
Yes, that's
and
true.
coming from you, that would really mean something.
Yes, because if you jump the gun, now you're disqualified.
And Tanette, say with the last minute or so, what else would you like people to know about staying fit, NRL Mortgage?
You know, whenever you get ready to qualify for a house, think of me in reference to getting prepared for the proper steps. Is always important to make sure you stay on time for your credits. Don't be late for any kind of payments that you already have set up. Start saving money for a down payment. Talk to someone up front to figure out what's best for you, what qualifies you in reference to your level of comfort monthly, things of that sort.
I think you said another word. The smooth word is great, having a smooth transaction, but I think you said another important S word, and that is save. So whomever is listening to this show, especially if you're young, I can't encourage you enough to save your money. It will grow, it will compound, so when you're ready to buy that house or whatever, you're going to be ready.
Absolutely, yes.
Save. And how can people reach you?
They can call me on my cell number directly. That's 281-627-6910, or we're located right there in Kingwood in Kings Harbor. Or they can always send me an email or go to my website, TanettePipkins.com.
TanettePipkins.com. Give her a call at 281-627-6910. Don't sprint out of here. Stay around for the rest of the show. And thank you, Tanette Pipkins.
Thank you.
Most people don't know that Stewart offers business, home, and auto insurance. In fact, Stewart Insurance and Risk Management has been doing that and more for over 10 years. And they partner with many leading insurance companies to offer great rates. They're a national insurance agency operating in all 50 states, delivering a broad range of insurance products. Whether you need a home insurance quote for a client's home closing or your own insurance needs, you can count on them. Call 866-845-4676. That's 866-845-4676. Stewart Insurance and Risk Management is here to help.
Welcome back. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I'm your host, Bill Nampick. Here we go. We're going to go to what they call sometimes the livable forest. We have Diane Bowden with Keller Williams right up there in livable forest, Kingwood, Texas, Atascocita, Humble. I get confused sometimes. Diane, let's tell people about your company up there, Keller Williams.
Thank you for having me here today.
Our pleasure.
Keller Williams, I started with Keller Williams, and I feel like it's a fantastic place to be. It has some distinctions. It's actually the two things that drew me to the company. It's actually been given awards lately for being considered one of the happiest places to work. And
I didn't know that.
And it's number one worldwide as a positive workplace. And I feel like I certainly agree with that. Part of the reason is the philosophy that together we can achieve more. There's a culture of giving and caring and sharing. So we agents, the mega agents who are top producers, basically share the secret sauce. They share their ideas and help other agents. And it's a very positive place to work.
That sounds very interesting. And also, as you're saying there, you started there, you're there now. It almost sounds like it has a nice family feel for those agents that are part of the team.
We call it our KW family.
KW family.
KW family. And I think the culture is one of the reasons that it's a positive place. And, of course, if you're happy at work, you're more productive.
A question about that.
The other thing positive about Keller Williams is the training. And, again, we had accolades there. We were Training Magazine named us number one in training. And this is in all fields, not just in real estate. And I like taking advantage of that because I feel like we grow as a person and personally as well as grow our business there.
Well, things are ever changing in every field, but certainly in real estate right now. So that training really becomes important because you have to learn something last month, and then here this month there's something brand new that's on the horizon for realtors to know.
Absolutely. It's kind of ongoing no matter what level you're in real estate. If you've been in it 20 years, you still need training. Especially things are, tech is changing, social media is changing, the way that SEO is changing. And if you don't keep up with it, then you don't know how to properly market your listings. And it should be ongoing through the course of your career.
I say it all the time. The realtor has to know so many things. I don't know how you do it. And I think people that are buying and selling many times don't realize all the things and all the skills that you have to get the job done in either case.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that Keller Williams has that I love is a Connect, KW Connect. It's almost like a Facebook page of agents across the nation that share their ideas on there. I feel like I'm a KW Connect junkie because it's got such a wealth of information. And again, it's part of that. Together, we achieve more by sharing those ideas.
The other thing I'm thinking about, your company has the family reunion on the idea of family and being happy where you work. But you have the thing called the family reunion every year. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And where was it this year? I forget.
It was in New Orleans, which I am from New Orleans, so that's my hometown. Family reunion is always a good time.
Always.
It's a great learning experience.
And they change locations each year, right?
They do.
So now let's go back to Kingwood, Atascocita, Humboldt. Those are kind of all in the same area. Is that right? And let's tell people about the marketplace right now, Diane. How is it right now from the buyers and sellers standpoint? Here we are almost mid-year.
Okay. Well, the market's ticking up as we'd expect as we move into the big selling season when school's about to be out and people are trying to move before their kids are back in school, secure a place. So we saw at the very beginning of the year, we saw a little softening and there was some talk about, the market's slowing down and as we moved into January and February, but we're definitely seeing that change. And we're seeing more traffic on our listings where it was a little slow in January and February at the startup.
And if you were to predict how things are going to wind up or continue, say, I don't know, August, September, if you were to take a wild guess, how do you think things will be or finish up for the year?
I think it's going to be a phenomenal time to buy or sell because what's happened is we're at about 4 months of inventory. So that means we're moving towards a more balanced market than we've been in the past. A few years ago, the homes were selling so fast, it was very difficult for buyers because it was so competitive. And a balanced market's actually a good thing for both sides. And a lot of people are saying that maybe 4 months of inventory is closer to a balanced market than 6 months is what typically they say is a balanced market. But we're used to, it's been at around 4 months for so long now that I think that's closer to what the balanced market is.
And the thing that comes to mind when we're thinking about the balanced market to me is also the pace. And as you described before this balanced market, when the pace is steady, I think it sounds like it's easier for the buyers and sellers to do what they need to do versus the frantic nature it was not that long ago.
Absolutely, yes. And I think also that the change in the interest rates, we had it tick up a little bit at the beginning of the year.
They made a big deal
and
about
then drop
that.
again. That started a little frenzy of buyers now wanting to act, take advantage of it now that the rates are down again.
And from in your activity, do you work more with buyers or sellers, or is it kind of even?
I work with both buyers and sellers. I'm an individual agent. Some people at Keller Williams have teams where they may divide up, where one is designated as a buyer's agent and someone is specializing as a listing agent. But since I'm an individual agent, I work both sides.
And if someone were wanting to sell their home right now in the Kingwood, Atascocita area, how are you advising that seller right now to be ready to put their home on the market? What are just some of the basic things that people should do?
Well, they need to talk to a realtor right up front because many times they try to tackle problems or maybe do some renovating in their home that's not necessary. So they need to seek the advice of a realtor, someone that can tell them, this is what's really going to make a difference. This is what's going to give you the return on your investment. For example, painting your home is going to make it look fresh and clean, and you get a lot of return. You get a lot of bang for your buck. So seek the advice of a realtor to know how to get it ready because preparation is the first step. Getting it in good condition and let the realtor share some of the things that may show up in an inspection that they can handle before they even put it on the market very easily with a handyman or even do it themselves. But it can make a difference when it comes to the inspection because if the inspection report shows lots of little things, even if it's just air filters that weren't changed in the air conditioner, it looks like you're not maintaining your home. It's so easy to handle those things before you list.
That is a great point because those little things can add up. Certainly, there's the big things. If someone has something wrong with their AC or foundation, would be even bigger. But boy, you're exactly right. Having those little things, if there's too many, hey, that could be put someone off and have them move on to the next home. In addition, that curb appeal and that impression that is made the first time they see it online, that's like super important.
Absolutely. They say the first 3 seconds is they're making an opinion of the home. So you want that curb appeal, that front porch where the buyer's standing out there where the realtor's opening the door needs to look great. So a little mulch and a little color in the yard and goes a long way. So those are things that we help guide sellers get ready.
Indeed, you do. So, and before we wind up the segment, Diane, what else should people know?
Absolutely. You can reach me at 281-682-4583 or my website, which is like HoustonHomesource.com. So that's easy to remember.
Give Diane a call at 281-682-4583. And that website again is?
LakeHoustonHomesource.com.
Sounds like a great place to live, buy, or sell. Diane Bowden, thank you, Diane, for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And welcome back. Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title. We're still staying up in that northeast of the Houston area. Kingwood, Atascocita, Humble. We have Cynthia Martinez, also with Keller Williams Northeast. Cynthia, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate the time.
It is great to see you. Let's tell people about your perspective on the marketplace up there in the livable forest in the northeast of Houston.
Well, the exciting thing is that Kingwood, Atascocita, the east side is growing. I pay a lot of attention to Jim Gaines over at A&M.
He was on the show last week. Did you hear that?
Yeah. Yes,
How
yes.
about that guy?
And I've worked with him when I was with WCR. He was one of the speakers, and we've always read Tierra Grande to know what's going on in the market. And, of course, we know that Houston is growing by leaps and bounds. I mean, not just people moving, from house to house, but also coming in from other states or other countries. So it's been an absolute amazing time to sell homes.
It must be fascinating because you get to see people, certainly those that change in the neighborhood or they want to upsize, downsize, but it's also fascinating to meet people from other countries.
Yes.
And I especially, or even other states, I especially love to see when someone comes to Houston for the first time. You get to ride in the car with them sometimes.
Yes, definitely, because they don't know where they're going. So they're coming with us, and we're showing them the areas of Houston that they can love, like Kingwood, Atascocita, along the lake, all those beautiful new homes that are being built. And also East Side is very popular with the migrants that are coming into the area.
Now, I don't want any compensation, but I just had an idea. We can call it the lovable forest.
Definitely.
So if the Kingwood Chamber wants to send a check, I'll donate it to it. I'll donate it to a worthy cause. Also, let's tell people some of the things that you do from as far as your distinctions go that help you serve your buyers and sellers.
Well, I am part of SIPS, which is a Certified International Specialist, and one of the things that we're working on in our office is finding those agents that speak other languages and bringing them forward. So we have people that speak French, German, Chinese, Mandarin. We have Farsi, Spanish. So we have all these different agents that work in our office, 280 agents that speak several different languages, and we're becoming more of an international hub for our area because we try to serve that community.
And people hear this show not just in the Houston area, but they hear it all over the world, all over the country, on the internet after it's posted there. And they may not know is that when we think of other countries and people coming in, Kingwood is also near the airport. Sometimes I forget. Yes. So people in the international travel or just traveling around the country, living in Kingwood, they're right near the big airport.
Well, also we have a lot of big Fortune 500 companies that are here in Houston. And because of Atascocita and Kingwood being so close to everything, it's a nice place for them to go ahead and live. I don't know if you've seen this, but Generation Park is blowing up. And there's supposed to be 25,000 jobs going to be coming available in the next 15 to 20 years just from that sector alone. I mean, that's just absolutely amazing.
That's incredible. Let's tell people what Generation Park is because I don't even know.
Well,
Can you imagine?
Well, you can actually look it up at www.generationpark.com, but it's the whole new sector that's going in along the Beltway. It's close to Summerwood. There's a brand new high schools that are coming in. So there's a lot of amazing things. Community colleges, homes, Balmoral, Lakeshore, Summerwood, of course. There's so many places for people to live, so many things to do, new stores, shops, everything that's being built up there. And then, of course, all the buildings you're looking at, commercial going crazy over there, just blowing up.
As far as your activities, do you do a lot with relocation?
Do some with relocation because my daughter, who's also my partner, she does a lot with the Facebook thing and all the internet stuff. And so I'll get a call from someone saying, oh, we're coming into the area. Can you help us? Or we're going to be opening a business. Can you, set us up with, rentals or whatever they need? And then, of course, they need a place to live. So it's been really exciting. And, of course, real estate is never the same because you never have the same person over and over again. It's a different, perspective each time.
Of all the things you could be doing, Cynthia, what is it about real estate that you love?
I've never done anything but real estate. My very, very favorite thing is to see that young couple that worked so hard on getting their loan and then going through the process of finding their perfect home. And then we're sitting at Stewart Title and they signed all their paperwork and I hand them the key and I say, here's your key to your new home. And the face that you get, the light up, the bright up that you get from that young couple, knowing that the whole process was worth it and now they have a home for their family, is the biggest high you can ever get.
That is tremendous. That must be a great experience. And I bet it's even nicer when they call you back and say, hey, Cynthia, we want to upsize, downsize. Maybe we want a house with a pool or on the water.
Well, I've been doing it in this area for over 25 years. So I'm not only getting the parents, but also the kids. As a matter of fact, one of the agents that are in our office right now was a kid when I was showing her parents' houses. And she wanted to be a realtor because of the experience. Because I always like to have the children have a little job when we're showing houses. I'll hand them the little key box and I'll say, this is your job. You hold this little box. And then when we're done, make sure that we get everything locked up, okay? And they feel like they're part of the process because that's what you want. You want the whole family to feel like they're important and that what mom and dad are doing is something special for them.
That sounds super awesome. I'm a big fan of whatever it is to hire a professional. And as I was driving around my neighborhood recently, I saw a guy that's selling his home, or a person, family, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
that's selling their home for sale by owner.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, first of all, when you see the sign, it's usually not professional right there.
Yeah.
Most people that attempt or sell their home by owner, the sign doesn't look good. And then I went on to where he said, or they said, to check our pictures or look at the home. So I looked at the pictures, and the pictures were poor quality.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes people that think they could sell their home by themselves, maybe they can, and maybe people do. But a lot of times, the way they do it is not professional. I think that's why they need a real estate professional.
Well, I kind of feel like the for sale by owner sign is a little white flag saying, help me. Because if they haven't gotten someone to buy their house, then they're in a little bit of a lull there. Or they have someone wants to buy the house and they don't know what to do next. As a matter of fact, my last closing that I just had Friday was a couple that called me up and said, oh, you sold 2 houses down the street from us. We put a for sale by owner sign. You called us, but now we don't know what to do with this buyer. Well, of course, I walked them through the process. There were some title issues that we had to take care of. There were some things that needed repaired when we had the inspection done. And because I am a real estate professional, I could guide them through that process. If not, having someone to know what to do, they would have been completely lost. And especially with a little bit of a title glitch, they didn't have that title company to walk them through.
Well, there's so many things involved. That's, again, why you need the professional in terms of mortgage, in terms of the real estate professional. And right now, here in Houston, Texas, it's a competitive market. So you want to make sure if you're selling your home that it looks great on the pictures when someone drives by. And most of the time, people see the home the first time on the internet.
Well, I don't know if you're familiar with Keller Williams Matterport, but our office made it available for all our agents to be able to have it's a digital format where you can literally walk through the house, pan your screen around, and see the whole house. So it really shows off the property so well. So you can be sitting in your bedroom at 1 o'clock at night and playing with the computer and literally do a walkthrough of the home. And you can get a feel of whether or not that's going to be the home that you want to go ahead and tour. So that really helps a lot. Also, I always say there's nothing that beats a good sweep, a good mop, and some elbow
Cleanliness
grease.
sells
Yes.
in a major way.
Because you want that house to smell fresh, clean. Even if it's a resale home, you can do certain things to make it look better just by simply cleaning and painting, like Diane said. You can just make the house look better. And that front door and the curb appeal, when you're driving up to that house, you want it to look absolutely fantastic.
With the last minute or so, what else would you like people to know, Cynthia?
Don't be afraid to talk to your professional. We want to know what you really want in a home. So talk to us. Give us your dreams, your wishes, and your wants so we can help guide you through the process.
And Cynthia, how can people reach you?
Well, my phone number is 832-660-7677, and my email is cmar113@aol.com.
Cynthia Martinez at 832-660-7677. Give her a call. Thank you for being on the show, Cynthia.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And we are coming right back with so much more. Stay with us. Thank you, Cynthia. Welcome back. Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title. I'm your host, Bill Napick. Bridgette Holden Joe. She is with S. Charles Public Relations.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's tell people you help people in public relations, but also one of the things, and I think with real estate professionals, you help them with their branding needs. You
Yes.
help them get noticed.
Yes, that's our slogan, working to get you noticed. Yes.
And let's tell people again, working to get you noticed.
noticed.
We say that together. There could be music behind it.
That's right.
It's incredible. And how do you do that for people?
So it depends on what they need. We can go with their niche market. I heard some great things that the previous guest said, that they either look at the emotion is behind, buying a home. And so whatever their niche is, like the one person was saying about how they get the kids involved, I think that's very nice. So anything that's unique to them and on social media, and also brand them as an expert in their field. I can do that as well.
When we think about social media, tell us a word about Instagram.
A word about Instagram.
Yeah.
Well,
How do people use that, and why would someone use Instagram versus, say, Facebook?
so in realtors, they can use the homes that they're selling. So Instagram is visual. So I need to see a picture and a quick description, and I'm out. Facebook is more personable. I can use it a little bit longer. I can use a little bit longer video. Instagram is 60 seconds. That's it. So you need to have a clear, concise message that I always tell people when you're branding yourself. And so when you're using Instagram, use a picture, give a clear, concise message, call me, I'm selling this home. And when you're doing Facebook, you can do just a little bit longer with the video. Hey, call us. We can give you a tour.
So when people use your services, what are some of the things you do to determine that they're the right person for you and you're able to help them, whatever their quest is in terms of getting their name out there or even helping them with their branding?
So first of all, we sit down to see if we're a good fit. So there's a consultation that happens first. And then we go from there to find out how their message is, if it's clear, it's concise, to make sure that they know their niche market, who they want to market to, and instead of randomly marketing to anyone. And then we go from there, and we have a process to where we're either going to brand them as an expert. We write press releases. We have them on the news, radio, anything like that, so they can get their message out.
And your tagline, again, your motto, whatever we want to call it, is working to get you noticed. And that could happen in many ways.
Yes.
And you and I met several years ago. And one of the things I remembered about you, now this is radio, but if people see the YouTube video, you have a unique hairstyle.
I do.
And you had that years ago.
Yep.
So when I saw your name, I said, I think that's the lady I met
With the
that
hair.
has that wonderful, beautiful hair.
Yes.
And lots of it.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So
It's a
when
lot.
someone consults with you and they say, I think this person can help me get noticed, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a hairstyle
No.
because we want to be noticed by what we do, our service.
Yeah.
And sometimes the idea of our physical appearance or maybe uniform, in your case, a hairstyle that someone's not going to forget.
Right.
Steve Jobs, he wore the same outfit,
Every day.
different clothes, but he bought the same things and he wore that. That became his brand.
His brand. Yeah.
And we have someone that's going to be has been on the show and will be on the show in about 2 weeks named Mr. McKinney. And he has a certain brand. I don't know if you know him, but he wears the same thing all the time. And he has he says some of the same things. That's how people remember them.
Yeah, you want to be memorable, especially when you're
In a good
branding
way,
yourself.
right?
You're right. Yes, of course. Now we do crisis management as well, which we come in and
So
try
if something
to,
goes off the track for somebody,
you have to come in and fix it in a good way. In a good way.
Having a motto or something.
Mm-hmm.
Products have this. I can't think of any right. Sodas have it.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of food, beverage companies. But the importance of having, like with you, working to get you noticed.
Yes.
That is easy to remember.
Easy to remember.
And I know a lot of real estate professionals that have their own motto too. That is not a bad idea, is it?
It's not at all. Like we were discussing earlier with someone using their name, like with Monday and some other things that you were saying. That's very, very good in the real estate business. But then you have to back it up.
So whatever we say, whatever our message is that we put out there, it's always important. And just in life, that's a general life
General
tool.
life lesson, yes.
Do what you say you're going to do.
Yep. And mean it.
And I'll add that in terms of the service business, like what we all do in this room, is exceed expectations.
Yes.
So do even more
Yep.
to get noticed in a major way, right?
That's right. That's right.
It's that, and we're making it sound simple.
It is simple.
Let's tell people how they can reach you.
So you can reach me at bhjoe@scprelations.com, or you can call me at 713-498-0552. You can catch me on Instagram at scharlespr, Facebook as Charles PR, and Twitter as the PR Specialist.
And one more time on the phone number.
713-498-0552.
And if people do not look at the YouTube video and they want to see this beautiful hairstyle you have, what should they do?
Go to Instagram, scharlespr.
There you go. Thank you so much for being on the show,
Thank
Bridget.
you for having me.
Holden, Joe, we're coming right back with even more. Stay with us. We continue Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title. I'm your host, Bill Nampick. Stewart Insurance, helping people every day with their home, auto, broker E&O, umbrella policies, all those things. In fact, they also help real estate professionals far and wide with just great information and classes. Welcome, John Bramlett, Brittany Taggart. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hi, Bill.
How can we help people today, guy? You always bring forth tremendous information. What should people know today, John?
Well, what we would like to talk about today, Bill, is insurance basics for real estate agents and brokers.
It's such an important part. We think about all the components to a real estate transaction. Oh, yeah, we have to insure the house, right?
Absolutely. Insure the house, insure the business, protect the owner. So it's a very critical element of the entire process.
Indeed it is. So let's tell people, what should they know, the basics, because there are probably a lot of things, but what are the basics?
Well, first, I know on this show we talked about there's so many different moving parts when it comes to a real estate transaction. There's many different parties, and a lot of times we're helping a home buyer, but they might not necessarily be looking for a home that they are going to stay in themselves. Some people are looking for investment properties. Some people are looking for land and they're going to build. So the first thing that we want to bring forth is that there are different stages of a property, and that can affect the insurance you need for the property. So when we talk about a lot of what we help with is homeowners insurance, but really the only time that we would use a home insurance policy is when the owner of the home is looking to stay in the home as their primary residence. And then you have the investment property. So you might be helping a homeowner or home buyer looking for a property that they're investing in, that they'll have a tenant stay in there. And that's when we might help that owner look for something called a dwelling fire policy. And that really protects the building and their liability, the home itself. And then the tenant would look to get coverage for their property inside of the home. So even something as simple as that difference right there, it requires a different type of insurance policy. And those are just some important things to know.
Very important to know, because sometimes people don't think about it. The other thing, Brittany, when you use the term investor, a lot of times the investor has many properties.
Yes.
So that is very helpful for them to have the right relationship with an insurance company like Stewart Insurance.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you have a home that you've bought that you're not ready to move into yet, then you might want to consider a vacant home policy. So depending upon how long a home is unoccupied, your homeowner insurance may reduce its coverage or eliminate its coverage. So having a vacant home policy can cover you during that time when the home is unoccupied. So again, another option to keep in mind as you move forward. If you have a piece of land that you're investing, you might need to have a vacant land policy, because if somebody could get hurt on the land and then you could potentially be liable. So again, having that kind of policy would be helpful.
Any kind of property we have, we better check with insurance professionals like you guys to know all the ins and outs, because sometimes we just think, hey, I have a homeowner's policy. They don't think about, well, maybe I moved and left the home vacant and it's over 30 days or whatever the particular policy has, what their stipulation is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So basically, I mean, if we could boil it down to two different concepts, your insurance policy for your property is going to depend on the stage that the home is in. So the things that we just talked about, is it ready to live in? Are you going to be living in it? Is it maybe you need to renovate it? That's going to call for a different policy. Maybe it's going to be vacant, or maybe there's not even a home on that property. All those things, that's the stage of the property, kind of what we deem it. And then it's the occupancy of the home. So are you going to be staying in it? Is somebody else going to be staying in it? Or is it not going to be lived in for a little while? So those are really the two components that we look at when we determine what property insurance policy we might look to insure that home and insure that homeowner with.
If they have the wrong policy and something goes wrong, a claim happens,
then
they could be in trouble.
You might not even have coverage. So what are you paying for at that point in time? So you need to make sure that you do have the right policy. And I know, again, just going back to everybody within this transaction, I think what was said is let the professional do giving the advice.
Use the professional.
To the homeowner. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right.
Use the professional. That's an expert in that particular space. And for this particular portion of the transaction, it's the insurance professional that can help with that.
And you can help with so many other things. John, what are some of the other things we should be thinking about?
Well, I think as a real estate professional, one of the things that you need to keep in mind is that you are the expert when you're helping a client buy or sell a home. So you can provide them some guidance on things to look for that may affect the insurability of a home. So things like, is it in a flood zone? Has it been vacant? Are there foundation issues? Are there security bars on the home? What's the age of the roof? You know, what's the age of the HVAC or the AC or the plumbing? You know, does it have a trampoline? Does it have a pool? Does it have a slide in the pool? So those kinds of things can affect the insurability of a home. So as a real estate professional, providing that kind of guidance to your clients can be really helpful and as a way to separate yourself in the marketplace.
And then always refer to an insurance professional for the deeper advice. So absolutely be of help, be able to guide, and then always refer to a professional to give the specific advice to the homeowner.
It's interesting you mentioned trampolines. I don't even think about those, but there are so many factors. And I know that as I was reviewing my homeowner's policy with you, that's one of the first questions they asked about the age of the roof. And I'm thinking, well, why does that matter? But there's a lot of things that go into the equation.
Absolutely. So it's just, a combination of having the right realtor, the right title company, and the right insurance partner can really help make that a smooth transaction, as well as one that you're confident that you're making the right decision.
Well, I wonder, as far as real estate professionals go, I know that they take pride and work hard to have the right home inspectors, title companies on their team. And I would think that they should think about having the right insurance company as well, where you can get the information quickly, reliably, and have it be when you refer them to the insurance company like Stewart Insurance, then they could build that relationship, because relationships are so important. And in the world of our technology today, sometimes in the insurance world, that's forgotten, but not at Stewart Insurance.
Not at all. We strive to have a conversation with our clients that we want to make sure that they're confident in their decisions. So when life happens, that they're aware of what's going to happen, and that they're confident in what they're willing to take on themselves and what they're giving the insurance company to take on the responsibility. Specifically to that guidance that you were speaking of, one of the things that we recommend to our real estate partners is when a buyer gets to the option period. That's a good time to begin that conversation with an insurance professional, because then you can get a feel for what are the types of insurance that I'm going to need, what's the coverage that's important to me, and then what would that investment be.
The option period is a good time to start that conversation. Let's tell people also, before we go any further, in case they want to reach out to you, what's the phone number?
866-798-2827.
One more time.
866-798-2827.
And on the subject of the phone, the nice thing about calling Stewart Insurance is you actually get a human in short order without all the voice prompts that seem so common these days.
Get a chance to speak with Myra.
There you go. And so many other great team associates at Stewart Insurance.
And if you're really lucky, you get to speak with Brittany.
That's right. If you're really like, so let's tell people you're also teaching classes. What else? And what else should they know about this?
Well, we do teach classes, and some of what we talked about today, we cover in 2 different classes. Property Insurance Essentials is a 2-hour CE that we give real estate professionals, and we go over again those different types of property insurance policies and when they come into play, just to help be a better guidance for real estate professional clients. And then we also give a class called 2 Sides of Water, where we really dig in to 2 different types of policies, and that is a home insurance policy and a flood insurance policy. So those are the 2 that we've really pulled from today, and we love, like you said earlier, we love sharing this information, being a resource for our real estate professionals.
And you're doing so every day all over the city. So brokers that are listening to the show may want to reach out to you. Once again, that phone number, John?
866-798-2827.
So many classes, you're helping people. And by the way, my home flooded. I had flood insurance through you guys, and boy, am I glad I had that flood insurance.
We are too.
And I'm gonna, and I hate to say it, but aren't we in hurricane season again?
June the 1st.
Oh, I hate hurricane season. But last year we did pretty well. So hope that works the same. And I hope if there's someone listening that doesn't have flood insurance, it's a good time to get it before the storm comes. And usually there's a waiting time.
Everybody should keep this in mind. There's a 30-day waiting period for coverage to be in effect. So once you purchase the flood insurance,
30 days.
You have 30 days. So when it's a little too late, when it's starting to rain, and you call an insurance company. So make sure that you evaluate if that's a risk that you want to take on, or if that's something you want to give to the insurance company.
That's right. Get flood insurance. Call them now at
866-798-2827.
And Brittany, anything else before we close out this segment?
We look forward to having a conversation with anybody that's listening to help them be confident in their insurance coverage.
There you go. And I can't wait to go to one of your classes very soon. We're going to take a short break, come right back, and wind up this incredible show. Thank you guys for being on the show again. We're coming right back. Here we go as we wind up the show. She's back, Tanette Pipkins with NRL Mortgage. Tanette, welcome back.
Thank you for having me back.
Here we are. As we wind up things, let's tell people, what else would you like them to know?
Yes, if you're looking to get a home loan, once again, feel free to give me a call. I specialize in VA, USDA conventional, as well as FHA and jumbo loans.
And you make the process smooth, I heard.
Yes. So our close time from start to finish is about 2.5 weeks. So it's no stress on my end. I always tell my clients every experience is different, but our motto, it should always be the same, meaning very pleasurable and fun throughout the whole process.
Very interesting. And let's tell people how they can reach out to you.
Once again, my cell phone number is 281-627-6910. That's 281-627-6910. Or you can go to my website, TanettePipkins.com.
And how many times a day do people ask you what the interest rate is?
Oh, wow.
Once or twice, I'm guessing.
Oh, more than twice for sure.
And the answer is what? It depends.
It all depends. The rates forever changing throughout the day, so it all depends.
So that's an ever-moving thing, but people really like to hear about it, don't they?
Yes. But I always say rates should never motivate you to buy. You should always buy. It's always a good time to buy.
And the other thing, you would encourage, let's say, people that might be listening that are young, the importance of the credit rating. It's kind of important, isn't it?
Yes. You definitely want to make sure your credit score is intact. I mean, we got several different products, and this is not just determined on one particular credit score, but you should always position yourself to have good credit in reference to paying everything on time.
And let's say someone right now is not in a good shape on their credit. However, maybe they may, in a year's time, they're ready to buy. That they have some things that they can do in this year to improve their credit, right?
Correct. If you're challenged with credit, you have concerns, you should always reach out to a professional and get your credit intact. You should never let credit stop you from buying a home. It's just not knowing the right knowledge. So you should always position yourself to be prepared and get the credit in order for sure.
And the phone number, Tanette, again is?
281-627-6910.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Cynthia Martinez with Keller Williams Northeast. Cynthia, welcome back.
Well, thank you.
Here you go. So before we wind up, Cynthia, what else would you want people to know about what's going on up there at KW and with you?
First of all, I will love to help you, whether you're buying or selling. And also, if you're thinking of a career in real estate, call me. We help a lot of families buy homes, but also we help a lot of people get into the real estate career. And we have a lot of opportunities for training and for one of the best offices in the country. We'd love to have you give me a call.
And I'm going to guess every now and then when people watch real estate shows on TV, they think about a career in real estate. Because sometimes they make it look easy on TV.
Well, it actually is pretty easy to do. Once you learn the techniques and you follow the training, if you love those shows and you love real estate, it might be something you want to get into. It's an amazing career, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Making the complex simple. Cynthia, how can people reach you?
Well, I'm at 832-660-7677, or you can email me at cmar113@aol.com.
832-660-7677. Diane Bowden. Diane, before we close out, what else should people know?
Well, I feel like this is an exciting time to be in real estate, especially with Keller Williams. We have launched some new technology this year, and I'm part of a labs team that's testing the technology and making sure that it's working for our clients. The agents give feedback on the technology so that it's agent driven and we have input there. And it allows us, it's simple and it's smart. So it allows us to streamline our business so that we can run our business efficiently and spend more time listening to our clients, elevating our services.
And I'm glad you said
which
that.
To me is the most important thing.
Listening is so important in the world of sales and just in general in helping people. Diane Bowden, how can we reach you?
You can reach me at 281-682-4583. Website is LakeHoustonHomeSource.com.
LakeHoustonHomeSource.com, or call her at 281-682-4583 in the livable and lovable Forest. So just send the check. And before we close out, Brigitte. Yeah.
Holden Joe.
Yeah, Holden Joe.
Yeah, that's it.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Reach me at 713-498-0552. Company is S. Charles Public Relations, where we're working to get you noticed.
That's what I was going for. Working to get you noticed. The phone number one more time.
713-498-0552.
Thank you all so much for being on the show. And don't forget to get flood insurance. Stewart Insurance. Get it now before the hurricane season comes. And don't be sad that the show is ending at the time of broadcast. Why? Because it never really ends. You can always go to Stewart.com/Houston. That's Stewart.com/Houston. All the shows are there for your enjoyment and information. That's right, Stewart.com/Houston. Check us out there, and we thank all our guests: Brigitte, Cynthia, Diane, Tanette, Brittany, John, Johnny B, as they call him over there at Stewart Insurance. Until next week, Stewart.com/Houston. I'm your host, Bill Napick, and we'll see you then.